to start weaving. So I've picked out what Plarns I want to use. I'm going to start off with this one that is just a simple vegetable bag from the produce section. This one bag gave me about 10 yards, I think, of Plarn. And then I'm going to use these 2 bread bags and then finish off with the coffee bag that I think should look pretty cool. And I'm imagining it to be a little bit of like a landscape sort of look. So I'm going to start off, and with weaving you want to do over, under, over, under. So I'm starting under. So now I'm going to go and put my shuttle through. And the first couple ones are trickier, and once you get going, it starts to get easier. The weft loosens up just a little bit, and the thickness of your weaving starts to make it easier to run the shuttle through as well. Oops, and I forgot to open up my shuttle and like get some Plarn off of it. So this is the what do you do if you forget to do that demo right now. So I'm just turning it through my loom. I'm going to show you the proper way after this. Leave like some extra length at the end so that I can tie it off at the end. Make that. So now I'm unweaving some extra length so that it will be easier. And then, so I ended on an over here. So my plastic is over that last one. So now I'm going to go under. Under, over, under, over, under, over, and so on. So now this is turning the corner, and I am going to get it so it is a little tight, but I don't want to pull it so tight that I start to bring my warp in. So I want to keep paying attention that my warp is staying in line. If I start pulling it in, the whole thing can start to go in this like hourglass shape. And that's great if that's your intention, but if you want it to be a nice straight line, then you have to pay attention to that and not pull too tight. So then I just kind of push those all together and make sure I've got some excess. And now this one is over, so I'm gonna go under on this one. Over, under. Same thing, pull this, leaving just a little bit of room at the end so that it doesn't mess with my tension too much, and then I can start to push those down together. You can also use rulers to help you with your weaving. So on this one, I'm going to have to go under because this is much thinner. It's easy to sort of weave through the warp. And then once that is through, what I will do is sort of lift it up to separate my warp threads, and now I can easily push my shuttle right through that. And I find that is super helpful. You can you could use rulers, you could use like a butter knife, or like a, I'm trying to think, like anything that's really flat and smooth, and strong enough that it will hold up. So like a piece of plastic or a piece of cardboard will totally work as well. So you can see how that is so much easier to lift up those little pieces instead of me trying to do it with my fingers. Especially, I do not have fingernails, long ones, so I don't have a lot to lift up with. So now this speeds my process up significantly and makes it less frustrating for myself. If you've got two rulers, sometimes folks will just slide one of them up, and then they'll have another one that goes in the opposite direction that you can come down here and lift up the opposite, and then you're only doing that on every other. And then whenever it is this one's turn, you just slide it down and lift it up. So that can be helpful. So you can see already with very little, I've got a nice little start going. And then as I finish, I'll keep pushing this together. You can use other materials as well. So like a Starbucks cup, you can cut into one long length, or say like a water bottle, cutting into one length. But you could also cut it open like this, and then cut singular strips from it as well that could just be woven into a weaving in small sections. So say on something like this, I wanted to add like a little extra dimension or shine or something, I can just go in and weave, add this guy in and leave it like just sticking out like that, even if I want to add like some cool dimension, and then just continue my weaving as normal. Or I can, my whole weaving can consist of just strips instead of one continuous length. So think outside the box, or use a combination of lots of things. I think with weaving, especially, the more textures, the more interesting it is. So have fun, explore, get weird.